what I love with it is that we are seeing something. We have a movement in Sweden that I, at least in my 9 years, have never seen before. The pays forward mentality, the investments that are, and the really fast growing startups. And with Ligora and Lovable, we can actually see that AI makes it possible to be in Sweden and to scale globally. You don't have to be in Silicon Valley anymore. And that is new. And we have never seen any investments, large investments in companies without moving the headquarters before. So that's really the movement.
And I remember a quote from Anton Osika in Lovable. He said once, so we got the question about, why didn't you go to San Francisco and launch your company there? And he said, I probably would have received more money there, but I don't want to do it. I want to stay in Sweden and Europe. And this would be interesting to hear your thinking. Should a startup, focus on Sweden and Europe, or should they aim to move to San Francisco or collaborate with San Francisco or Silicon Valley? He said basically that, maybe paraphrasing, but he said that if you were to move to San Francisco, of course, you would be more or less nobody, and it's really hard to compete in the high competition that do exist there. But in Sweden and Europe, you're a champ, right? Yeah. He's a star, and he really is, right? And in that sense, it's actually easier and better, and you can actually grow and have more traction if you actually do focus on Sweden and Europe. Would you agree with that? Or?
I mean, I totally agree. He is the big fish in the small bowl here, and in Silicon Valley, as you say, it's the competition is really hard. It's so hard to hire really good engineers, and he managed to build a culture around really young people that are open to work, even though it's vacation time. They have hackathons in the weekends, evenings. He managed to really bring the best people in Europe to
and perhaps some Silicon Valley mentality also back to Sweden then? Or?
Yes. I mean, a few things that is really special with Lovable is that they have a lot of angel investors, like a lot of people.
I know.
Exactly. So a lot of people, that is typically the Silicon Valley way, like bringing people on board, doing it together, pay it forward, do it together as a movement. Yeah. So that I really love that.
And this really, I think this movement, pay forward, I heard now a couple of times. Even I was down listening to Anton today. Yeah. I was thinking that would make sense for this podcast in Kungsträdgården.
Yes.
And they talked about that. I think that was even the title. The ending title was "And Giving Back, Pay It Forward," right? I think this is also a big portion of how we need to understand Silicon Valhalla, or at least I have taken this community thinking, or that we are growing as a community, and some, like you will, we put in some money, Sebastian puts in some money, etc., etc. But it's not only that; it's the community, it's the network, helping with the network, helping, and this is quite cool what is happening, but. When did that start, or when did that emerge? Because you say it's different in the 9 years. So what happened here?
In the AI era, at least. I mean, we have that with Spotify and others early. The movement was really, the innovation is, we are strong in innovation in Stockholm, and we've been known for being one of the most innovative parts of the world for a very long time.
Yeah, and we recently ended up, I think, in number 2 in Europe.
Exactly. Right? So we are still like top in the world. We have a very high digitalization. I mean, we use digital tools. We're always the try it out market for any product. So we have everything, and it's a really nice way of, it's so nice to live in Sweden. It is really good.
But we are lacking behind in AI usage, I believe, though, compared to other countries in Europe and other places. So in some ways it's not perfect, right?
No, it's not. And I mean, I think, so what I see the perfect like Silicon Valhalla is that we see a movement right now that a lot of people never traveled to Silicon Valley, like really good founders from Stockholm are starting to travel back and forth a lot. So there's also like go into Silicon Valley, meet the best investors, mentors, inspiration, and also like other professionals, and then bring that back to Sweden. We have almost 100 founders from the Nordics coming the first week of October to Silicon Valley together with investors. So it's a lot of movement back and forth right now and that is what is the cool thing with Silicon Valley. Like we take the best from Silicon Valley, but we build here. And
this is the build mentality here, I think is important.
Yes.
And I guess also if we get a portion of the capital that do exist in Silicon Valley and get that to Valhalla, that could be a really big thing and good for Valhalla, right?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. We just discussed before I came here today, the founder's house, mentality on the same street over there. Yeah. If we have, we should have like a Swedish founder's house in San Francisco, and we should make this bridge even closer because there is so much to gain from having the strong paid forward network of Swedes even stronger there in San Francisco, and take the best, cherry pick, and but build here. We have so much talent from the universities that we should take advantage of.
I think it's a really big strength that we have in Sweden and Europe, and Sweden especially, I think, right? So lots of talent.
That's one of the biggest differences I see, though, that in Silicon Valley, if I tell anyone from NVIDIA, Meta, whatever, that I know the best person in the field within AI, AGI, or health or whatever from Stanford,